So hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture. So we have completed the medieval period. So today we are going to study about the modern period. So when the country with the autocratic rule of the medieval period characterized by the sycophancy, source force, arbitrary recruitment of the civil servant, unscientific promotion, inadequate employees, and scarcity of the employees with the required qualification entered the democratic system, the administrative sectors was not strong. Keeping the same in the consideration, the administrative reforms began together with the political change in 2007 BS. The Public Service Commission was established in 2008 BS. The commission was formed in 2009 BS under the chairmanship of Indian administration expert M.N. Booth of Administration Reform, and the commission represented the recommendation of improvement, and administrative reconstruction planning commissions was also formed under the chairmanship of sorry for the disturbance under the chairmanship of then Prime Minister Tanka Prasad Acharya in 2013 BS. The commission laid foundation for the improvement and the development of the civil service administration. As per the recommendation of the commission, codification of the Civil Service Act and Regulation, the provision that only the personal recommendations by the Public Service Commission to be recruited in the civil services, enhancement of the competency through the training of merit for the merits, making the organization timely by aiding and lessening the organization, professionalizing the professionalizing through the provision of service and groups were done. The effort of improvement of administration like commission under the chairmanship of Vedanand Jha with the objective of developing committee administration system together with the political system in 2025 BS, and the commission under the chairmanship of Bhism Bahadur Thapa with the objective of making the development of administration component in 2032 BS were made. The efforts made it possible to bring further reforms in modernizing the administrations. After the democratic government had brought out a liberal and democratic constitution of Kingdom of Nepal in 2047 BS, a high-level administrative reforms commission were formed in 2048 BS under the chairmanship of then Prime Minister Girja Prasad Koirala to reform and modernize the administration of the Nepal. The Commission in its report has pointed out the following weakness in the Nepalese administration. First is the morality and motivation of the civil services significantly eroded. The government has widely involved in different sectors of public life. Higher number of government offices and government employees. Minimal professionalism in the government working system. Decision making process had not been able to become qualitative. Profusion of the paperwork and formality of performance, not clear in defining accountability of the service, lack of adequate delegations of authority to employees for the performance and no enhancement for the components of the employee, low quality and effectiveness to the service of the labor. So considering these weaknesses and the situation, the Commission has submitted the recommendation for overall improvement in the flowing sector. First is the motivation of the participant for the private sector in the areas of public life through the contractions of the worker areas of the government and easing the government control. Restructure of administration uh, organization, ensure the monitoring process of reform program, restructure the planning and development process, make civil services a specialized service, systematize the career development, transfer and placement of the employees, and emphasize the security of the services of the employees. Emphasize on the timely reform of the Act and the rules for the civil services, on implementation of the job description, and on the implementation improvement of the performance of evaluations. Manage the relationship between the minister and civil service in the light of democratic governance system. Make it productive by simplifying the government working systems and working procedure, decentralize and privatize, control the corruptions. Some of the recommendations of the commission were implemented. As a result, the working area of the government was decreased and involvement of private sectors were increased. Similarly, the employees have become empowered. However, the reform is not enough forever. After that, the government's reform project came in fiscal year 2057-2058, and it took initiative to make the civil service inclusive. So the last one reform was post modern period. In this process of continuing the administration reform, the second amendment of the Civil Service Act in 2049 where has made the civil service exclusive, gender friendly and client oriented. To make the civil service inclusive, provision were made in the Civil Service Act that 45% post of the post were to be fulfilled by an open competition shall be set aside and be filled having separate competition between the women, indigenous, Madesi, Dalit, disabled and backward areas by considering the percentage into the same percent, that is 33, 27, 22, 9 and 5 and 4% posts are reserved respectively for the above mentioned group. So the similarly provisions have been made for the positive discrimination for the women under the different heading. The exercise of the trade unionism of the civil services has been accepted on the rights grant of the constitutions. Whereas the attempts had been made to make the civil service client oriented, internalizing the belief that it is a right to general public to obtain the service from the government. The public administration is not a big in a comparison with the population of the country. This has been delivering its service continuously by implementing the decision of the government and by serving the public even during the times of political upheaval and political economic situation. The civil services have been affecting political, economical, social services. There is a still justification for bringing reforms in the complex issues like organization, structure, work responsibility, distribution of employee, the issue of centralizations, timely competency and facilities of the employees, the political stability, clear indication of accountability in the civil service, the awareness level of the client, the issue of transparency in the performance process, the state of integrity, righteousness and economic disciplines in the service, the ability of the decision making and state readiness to implement decision, the use of technology in the service, the balance between the program and budget. There is a need of continuous reform in the service. The government needs to make the effort to develop a service as a strong hand for implementing its decisions. The civil service can remain unaffected for the change from the change in the political level only if it is com- com- competent, accountable, and transparent. So with this, we'll end this chapter, that is chapter number 4, and we'll continue. We'll meet you in the next chapter. Thank you, and thank you for watching. We'll meet you in the next section with a new topic. Thank you. Jai Nepal.